Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hey everybody, welcome into Bayou Time Sports. I am Harry McCullough. We have another state champion as a Lafourche team. The Lafourche Bassmasters came with first place in the high school division, the state championship, last weekend in Stevensville.
With a total weight of 21.15 pounds, your 2023 Louisiana Bass Nation High School champions from Lafourche Bassmasters, Brody Boudreaux and Houma. Are you ready to go to Nationals? Have you ever been to Nationals? All right.
All right. You see those guys there. Now you see them here. Hey, congratulations, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
sir.
being here. So TJ Boudreaux is president of Lafourche Bassmasters. And I should have said Youth Bass Nation, right? That's who you guys work for. Brody Boudreaux is next, and Cooper Callahan, the 2023 Louisiana Youth Bass Nation High School State Champs. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
it. Hey, tell me about now. This is relatively new sport, and it's not recognized by everybody. Lafourche Parish kind of has the entire parish, I guess, it can be on your team.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about bass fishing and how it became a sport in Louisiana.
Yeah, so when you think about it, our club was started in 2017 by a guy by the name of Ken Blanchard. Ken knew that there was high school fishing sports somewhere throughout the state of Louisiana because he was watching it. It's a fairly new sport, so Ken went to a couple of the schools and said, "Hey, look, we really would like to get the kids fishing in the area." Those guys really didn't see it as a sport at that time. So Lafourche Bassmasters was started by Ken to get youth anglers fishing in the parish. And since then, I mean, it has grown. We got 42 anglers fishing today. We got multiple teams fishing every weekend. And, man, look, we got lucky, and now we got the state championship.
Just the state tournament had 135 teams. You had to qualify to get into that. So probably 500 teams across the country.
Yeah, so if you look
state,
at just in the state of Louisiana, I mean, it's a huge number, right, when you think about it. A lot of commitment from different people. But there's 3 divisions in the state of Louisiana. There's 3 tournaments per division. So there's 9 opportunities to qualify for the state championship. And I think there was 135 teams that qualified this year. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome just to have it, in Stevensville, right there out of Morgan City. A great spot to have it at Dwaro's Landing there. So, Brody, tell me about the tournament. So you guys, 2-day total of 21.15 pounds. So how much of a stringer is that?
We had 5 fish on Saturday for 8 pounds and 75 ounces. And then we came in the next day, the Sunday, and we brought in close to about 13, which brought us to close to about 21.
You guys win it by a lot?
We won about 4 pounds.
Right. So Lake Verret, where'd you fish? Now, I guess you could have run anywhere, but did you stay around Lake Verret and Lake Pelure and all those, or did you run somewhere else?
You can tell them.
Yes, sir.
Jane, give me the GPS coordinates.
That's
No,
right.
I'm teasing.
We kind of stayed around the Lake Barrett side, kind of fished around in the canals in the lake and stayed around
What'd
there.
you catch most of your fish on?
So
Pig and jig?
the Saturday, we caught them on spinner baits in the trees, and that afternoon we started catching them on frogs, and then the Sunday morning we went to the same place where we caught that Saturday afternoon. We started throwing frogs, and then we had 5 fish for about 6 pounds.
Wow.
And we had to decide if we wanted to stay or make a move. And we talked about it, and we made a move, and we started going to find some lilies to go punch and to catch some of the bigger fish to take some out.
Yeah, so start culling some of those fish.
Yes.
Yeah, I watch it every weekend, so I know how you start culling things. Actually, I fished in a tournament in that same area, but about 30 years ago. So Cooper, tell me about what you do now. Do you guys drive yourself in a boat, or you have a driver? How's that work?
Well, actually, TJ's the captain, so
You drive the boat.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
only thing we could do is use the trolling motor. That's about it.
I got you. I did skied a Bayou Bass Challenge, like I say, a long time ago. And the guy fishing, when we took off, my eyes were were watering. I was going, man, we're going kind of fast. But so Cooper, fishing in that area is some place you're familiar with. Was that an advantage for you guys?
I'm not really familiar with it. I didn't really fish it that much. I never really fished Lake Barrett side that much. I'm more of a Bayou Black dude, so it was kind of new.
You
for
kept
me,
saying,
too.
we need to go to Orange Grove, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Now they do put boundaries on you, right? I mean,
do.
they tell you can't go past Highway 90 and a bunch of different things like that. So which is good, but it's not an area we fish a lot, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And it's a different kind of fishing,
It
right?
is.
Cypress trees.
It is, but at the end of the day, it's all the same, right? When you think about it. So we did some scouting prior to the tournament coming up, and we found some fish that were basically sitting underneath some lily pads, and we went back and we checked them like 2 or 3 times. They were still there, and we went Saturday and we had the 5 fish for like 8 something, and then we knew we had to get to 20 pounds, right? So we had to get to 20 pounds. That was our goal. So last year we fished the state tournament because we qualified. We were sitting in 6th place after day 1. Same situation again. And then we go to Monroe, and then the second day we don't catch a fish. So we kind of learned from that, right? As a partnership, hey, look, let's go do something different.
Yeah, y'all catch we're looking at some of these. That's almost exactly when I was fishing there. Frog through those lilies was a great way to go. And these are the plaques. But yeah, if you guys show me your plaques, and when we come back, so y'all. So you won a couple of tournaments leading into this, right?
We qualified. We didn't win. We didn't win anything, but we just qualified. So it's a deep lake. It's a big lake. It's totally different than what we fish down here. But you can ask the kids. The day that the day that we got notified, hey, look, this is what we need to do. Then I send those guys a text and say, hey, we got to start studying, right? We got to look at YouTube. We got to go on Facebook.
Right.
We got to go see what people are catching them on. But at the end of the day, it's fishing, right? And these 2 guys are really good with finesse fishing, like finesse worms and throwing like a shake your head. So I think if we can take that and with the use of the live scope, right, new technology that we have. So
man,
it's a
scopes
game
are good,
changer,
huh?
right? It's a game changer. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah. Well, Cooper, let me ask you, what's your favorite technique? And what you like to fish deep water, or do you like fishing off banks?
I like punching, so pretty
Punching for folks would be like a bunch of lilies, and you're trying to get like a jig or whatever down in the middle.
Yes, sir.
With a heavier weight, right?
much. And just find some thick matted cover and just punch it. Hope you got a bite, target some wood in it.
Yeah. So when you go to South Carolina, do you think that'll be different? It'll be deeper water and that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of studying have you done so far?
Not too much, but all I know is a wacket worm.
How old are you guys? Are you guys seniors?
17.
Oh, you're both seniors, so y'all about done with school, right?
11th grade. Got
Oh,
1
y'all
year
were-
left.
okay.
1 year left.
So you're not going to spring break. You guys are going to go to South Carolina, right?
That's right.
Not going to be in Panama City. Brody, so what about you as well? What techniques do you like?
I like fishing, like we have back here, kind of fish on the banks, kind of throwing a worm and punching, like he says, just to get the feel of catching the bigger fish, not more of the smaller ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, bigger baits, bigger fish. Is that how y'all kind of do things?
Yeah, I mean, it's and look, I commend a guy by the name of Tyler Revet, right? He's our local pro angler from Racing, Louisiana.
Right.
He just won an elite series in Lake Okeechobee. So, and then we also had a kid that just recently graduated.
Great resource.
Great, and then we just recently had a kid that graduated from Thibodeau High School, Levi Thibodeau. Just tremendous fisherman, very good. So it gave these 2 guys an opportunity to say, hey, I want to beat those guys, right? So we knew we had to beat them. We knew we had to catch them. And just watching those guys from a distance, they punch, right? And they looking for anything that's matted that the bigger fish just kind of pull up under as it gets later in the day, right? Everybody can go catch them in the cut. Everybody can go do that. But to get the big fish, in the middle of the day when things get hard, you got to slow down and you got to start punching mats, right? And they look forward to the big bite, right? And that's why we do it.
No, that's interesting. You guys both from Thibodeau, right?
Yes,
So where do y'all grow up fishing?
Majority of the Bayou Black
Bayou Black,
area
yeah, in Orange Grove and that kind of area.
and Lake Bluff.
Well, Cooper, when did you start fishing? And look, most people around here meat fishermen, right? We all go get specks and reds and whatever else. And bass fishing is a completely different game, right? You can't drink when you're doing it. You need 2 hands to do it. So it's a completely different game for a lot of folks. When did you guys start bass fishing?
Well, my freshman year when I went him, I grew up red
Really?
fishing. Yeah.
So you only been doing it a couple of years.
Yeah. My grandpa used to take me out, and that's how I learned, cast a bait casting.
Wow. Wow. And Brody, what about you?
I started when I was probably around 10. Started fishing. I mean, fishing with the cheap stuff until I
Oh,
got
of course. Yeah.
older and I started learning how to throw the bait casters and learning how
Right.
to flip.
Yeah, because those more expensive rods catch more fish, right?
That's right.
Do the same thing in golf.
That's
You
right.
get out driven, you got to go get another
Gotta
club.
get a new club.
So let's take a look at some of the pictures that from this weekend. And again, Dewalron's Landing, if people don't know, if you're going Spur 70 back from Morgan City and you're going that way through Pierre Park, about halfway there, Dewalron's Landing, and then you have access to a lot of the different area. But yeah, here's the pictures from it. And it must have been a great experience to be, 135 teams, so that's 270 kids, right?
Yeah, and the picture you see that's up on the screen right now, that's our overall team award. So what they do is
That's
they
the
look,
whole Lafourche
that's the whole
team?
Lafourche Parish. So
Right.
not only these two guys won the state championship as individual fishermen, as a team,
The
like
team.
those two, our total team came out first too as well.
Nice.
So what they do is they take the top 3 weights of each team that's from each area, and they add that up, and I think we won by less than a pound.
Really?
So we were kind of surprised when we were coming off of the stage because it was like we getting over the excitement of just winning the state championship, and then I start hearing those guys howling. I'm like, what just happened? And they're like, we just won the team event too. I'm like, whoa, wait, too much emotion at one time, right?
Oh no, man, that's great. And what a great way to participate in sports and to, from our area, this is a great way to do things. So
Right.
Great way to spend time with your kid on the water, teach things. And look, bass fishing is not easy, as we were saying. So you got to know water temperature, you got to know color of the water, you got to know baits and all that. So I guess it comes where a coach comes in, huh?
Yeah, I mean, look, and they got to be good listeners, right? They got to be good.
They
They got to
gotta
be, and they got to
feel,
be dedicated,
right?
right? Because look, we can go out and we can scout and we can do, everything that we need to do to make the opportunity the right way. But at the end of the day, sometimes they just don't bite, right? Fish just don't bite. So man, look, I told the kids on the way home, I said, look, you got to thank the good Lord for this one. I said, because he made the fish bite at the end of the day. It wasn't, we put it in front of their face and they just bit it.
Well, there's that 90-10% rule, right?
Right.
Where the 10% catch 90% of the fish.
Right,
I
yes.
believe in that. Like I say, I did a couple of those tournaments. I'm fishing the exact same gear as the guy in front of the boat. He's mopping up, and I'm just back there
It happens.
paddling on the
It
water.
happens.
No, it's a great time, but there's some skill involved for sure. The field, and man, you guys ought to be proud of yourself. So good luck on July 27th to the 29th in South Carolina. So
Yes,
guys,
sir.
thanks so much for coming by.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Bayou Time Sports. Thanks for being with us.